Hello friends, today we're going to be looking at this 1/12 scale action figure by Exssrion Studio. Character's name is Redness Linya. They actually made two versions, the deluxe and the standard. I actually got both, but today we're going to be looking at the deluxe. These are just standard boxes, nothing out of the ordinary. They just each have some art in the front and just cardboard, no plastic windows. We got some instructions. It also includes a diagram to know where all the joints are located. And you get this nifty little cool trading card. You also get a stand, transparent, and some extra accessories that we will take a closer look further ahead. Extra faces, accessories, hands, and the figure here. We'll start with the accessories and then we'll move on to the figure. So extra hands, you get a total of 10, not including the 2 on the body. So technically you get 12 hands. Okay, now to look at the 3 additional faces. This particular one, she's kind of angry. Mouth is open. They did a really good job on the paint job on these. They look solid. This second face, she looks more kind of disturbed. They even did the swirly pupils. And the last one, she's more of eyes closed, kind of smiling, being bashful. They also threw in these additional extra shoulders, 2 of them. And this extra back piece, and it's just made so that you can attach additional accessories to the back of the figure. You also get these 2 additional blasting hands. They're just kind of shooting power. And some bat wings that attach to the back. And this additional hat that connects via a magnet. All right, well, let's go ahead and look at the figure now. The hair has a metallic shine to it, so it doesn't look like it was painted on. It looks more like they mixed it into the plastic. These additional pieces on the arms have extra swivels, so they can move around. Let's go ahead and remove the protective plastic that they put on the figure. So it has in both legs and on the waist area. So there doesn't seem to be a swivel on the actual hip. The ankles seem to have a standard ball joint. The feet do not have any joints in the toes. The skirt is a transparent plastic. It's a little bit soft, but not quite as flexible. Just pops right in. And you are able to remove these extra pieces from the arm. As you can see, there's the connector there. And this is where we start to go wrong with this review. You saw how quickly that arm kind of popped off. Well, it happens multiple times. And I put it back in, make sure that it popped all the way in, and it just immediately pops out. Then I was like, okay, well, maybe it's only the right one. Nope, happens on the left as well. And then as I was doing that, then the waist joint popped off as well. So I put it back on again. And in the process, the arm came off again. I tried to put the arm and look, the waist came up apart again. This is just not holding well. So let's move on and look at the movement of the rest of the figure. The head moves fine. But once again, when I'm trying to see the ab crunch, it just falls apart. I went ahead and removed the skirt to see if that would allow it for it to stay better in place. And it did help. Since the figure does not have a hip joint and only the top waist, you're not going to get much of an ab crunch. The legs move fine. I didn't really have any issues with that, so Thankfully, that's not popping off. They are double jointed on the knees, so the calves and back of the leg connect just fine. The issue is with the arms themselves. They're very stiff, and I'm sure that's what's adding to the problem of it popping off from the shoulders. But the torso itself is really where the biggest problem is coming from. The connector in the torso, for some reason, does not hold those joints in the shoulders properly. And any kind of pressure that you put, they immediately just pop off. The pigtails each have their own little joints so they can move around, and they are made of a very soft plastic, so that's a plus. The hands also are made of very soft material. They seem to pop off with no issues. I didn't need to use a heat gun. And they did hold their place. They didn't fall off on their own. Let's go ahead and try to swap out the face. So the hair just kind of comes off to the front like so. And the face pops off very easily, and you can just swap it out with no problems. So the face swapping was not an issue. Now here are the additional accessories that I mentioned. You can remove the eyes and then replace them like so. They just kind of pop in from the back. So each face has additional different eyes that you can replace. Now here's me demonstrating trying out and the additional shoulders that they give you to see if that would help. But no, the problem's still present even with the different type of shoulders that they gave you. Go ahead and try out the hat. Just connects right in with that magnet. And let's test out the little bat wings, and they pop right in, no issues there. Well, final thoughts on this. Man, I am extremely disappointed with this. This was such a frustrating review. The shoulders and the torso just kept on popping off multiple times. So very disappointed because the Nana Hoshikawa figure that they first released, I purchased it. It came with a ton of faces, like I think almost close to 10 additional faces. Just a really cool figure, and everything was solid on it. And so I had high hopes for this particular one, and man, what a letdown. I definitely would not recommend this to anybody unless you are willing to put in the work and trying to figure out how to get those shoulders not to pop out and the waist. And it's a shame though, because it's a cool design. I'm still going to do another review on the other one, the standard version. Curious to see if anybody else has this figure, and if they ran into the same problem, please comment below so that at least you can get the word out. But outside of that, the design is cool. The paint job is great. Total of 12 hands, and even the extra 2 hands with a power blaster on it. All that is very cool. I like the little hat, the bat wings. They even did a really cool airbrush job on the legs and the knees. It would have been a perfect 10 if they would have just not dropped the ball with the shoulders and the waist. I brought out the original release, their first release from this company, just to kind of get a comparison, and you did indeed get 10 additional faces. Even these new faces, the swapping system that they are using for their eyes is very similar to that of a model kit, which is not very good. Eventually this thing is going to get real loose and it'll probably break. So that's another side note on that. But I mean, I don't understand why you would get away from an already good working system. This is a lot better than this, how it connects to the face. And I also tested the shoulders, and you don't have the same problem. Everything stays put. The waist, the same thing. There's no hip joint, just on the waist and the top part, just like this one. But this one does not come apart either. This one, you barely put any pressure on it and just immediately comes off. This, you don't get that problem. Same thing with this. You have to put a lot of pressure for it to pop off. It doesn't just immediately come off. So something's going on with their quality control. Well, friends, thank you so much for watching my video. If you like what you see, please like, comment, and share. Or even better, please consider a small donation in the form of a subscription. I would really appreciate that. Thank you so much, and I look forward to seeing you on my next video. Take care, and bye-bye.